Well, hey everybody, it is Romania Black, and we are starting two OVAs that are going to be back to back this week and next week for Natsume's Book of Friends, Natsume YUUJINCHOU, that we're going to have to do before we start season 6. The moderator of Floor was like, I can't believe you're already almost to season 6. I was like, I know, but it's been over a year of watching this show every week, so why wouldn't I be? But I'm excited that we get a nice little break before we start season 6. I like that we have 2 weeks of OVAs. That's a lot of fun before we dive into the next season. It feels like a palate cleanser, but still Natsume's Book of Friends. The moderator Floor did talk to me about the manga because I went to them after I watched the season finale and I was like, okay, I'm ready for the manga. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, what do you mean? So the way that Floor explained it for season 6 with the manga that covers season 5, I am not allowed to check into volume 13 until after I watch episode 6 of season 6. And I was like, oh, because as you probably have noticed in previous volumes, some of the content from, like when I was going over the manga that covered seasons 3 and 4, some of the season 3 content didn't show up in the manga until around the same time as season 4 content. And I was like, that's so crazy. Well, apparently now we're getting the reverse, where some of season 6 material is showing up early in the season 5 manga. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Floor said that after episode 6 of season 6, I can cover volumes 13, 14, 15, and 16, which will be cool. We'll get to basically cover the manga that will encapsulate seasons 5 and season 6 together, which will be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that, right? I'm looking forward to that. So we'll cross those bridges when we get to them, but I am looking forward to talking about those manga volumes when we get to them. So we're going to hold off on the manga review for a little while. It'll be all right. If you really like the manga review, don't worry. We're about halfway through season 6, then we'll get into it. So we'll just have to wait until then. But I am going to be reviewing up to volume 16. It's just going to take us till about halfway through season 6, which is fine, which is okay. The only other comment that I have is from someone, the elusive fangirl, with the season 4 finale. They're working on catching up through my reactions right now, but I really liked what they had to say about the season 4 finale. They said, Nyanko Sensei said, I'm only staying with you until I get to the Book of Friends. Literally, until Natsume dies then. I'm only staying with you as long as physically possible. I'm like, oh, that's what hits you in the feels. It's like Nyanko Sensei saying, I'm staying with you until I get the Book of Friends. He's basically just going to stay with Natsume for the rest of his life. Shut up. Shut up, show. What are you doing? What are you doing? Also, I love the idea that people have brought up. I think Sunspots was the one that brought it up, that like, what can this show use to make us cry? Umbrellas? Because like the Toko and Shigeru episode, literally like an umbrella making you tear up. It's like, it's a constant battle to see what's the craziest thing we can use to make our audiences cry. An umbrella takes the cake for now. But we'll see where that goes, right? I think a wind chime is probably the next feature. So that's all I've got comment wise. I'm super excited to dive into this OVA. The start of the OVA is the same as the season 5 OP, so it definitely does feel connected, and the streaming service I'm watching it on has it connected as well, so that's fun. But before I start, I want to give a really quick shout out over to Patreon, to our philanthropy tier, to thank all of you on Patreon for supporting me. I really appreciate it, and all of you on YouTube for supporting as well. We're almost to a new subscriber goal, and it's really exciting, but I want to give a shout out to Alex Cornejo, Anime Annie, to Be Happy, to Bryant Reed, to Damage3245, to Dana, to Devorin, to Danger Zone, to Destiny Marie, to Alexandra Q, to Ichu, to Eric, to Fisho, to Ghostly Turnip, to Elfreya, Liam Poles, Liam Posel, Linden, Matthew Palfinier, Murphew, Nicholas Nago, as well as Adam Perez, Sunspots, Shimoyama, Trails, Translucent Men, Starman AA, Bisa, and Ching Y21W. Thank you so much for all of your support. I greatly appreciate it. All of my love. And to everybody, because it's crazy. If you all are, I feel like I've been really excited because there's been so many comments for the last couple of episodes, and the idea that you all are still commenting on a series that I am 6 seasons into is really, really good. And the fact that the quality of this series has been this good 6 seasons in is just crazy. So I'm all here for that. But anyway, we're not going to waste any more time. We are going to dive right into the first OVA for Natsume Book of Friends Season 5. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay. Just making sure it wasn't too loud. You always get surprised when you put headphones in, like how loud something can be, and you're like, or I just have like old ears. Probably the latter. I'm gonna miss this OP a little bit. Not my favorite OP, but I did end up liking it, especially towards the end of the season. It was just very serene, and I enjoyed that. Man, and all these from prior seasons is insane. The fact that so much of this I have witnessed through seasons 1 through 5 is insane, right? Also, I like in that shot Natsume and Reiko, even though they're always so comparable, there are subtle little differences, like with the shape of their nose and like their face shape that are similar, but just different enough, which I like. I like the animation studio took the time to do that. Because they could have been just carbon copies, but... Oh, look at this. Look at this BL pair. Yeah, see? Aw, Sasada's still there, even though she's not. She, like, moves back in the manga. We don't know that. What are you doing, OVA? Are you going to be as cute as a snowman? Probably not. I don't know if that's possible. That snowman's pretty amazing. How it always starts. Oh, Toko, you responsible for all this? Did you get lost on a shortcut? Oh! What? What? I was distracted by the silver black fox, but this thing, this narwhal looking mother trucker, oh my god! Why are you making us compete? Oh! What? Where are all these crazy yokai coming from? Oh, good. Punch the narwhal, as one does. Damn it. Natsume falls down how many hills in this series? Oh, no. Well, no. In fact, no. But, oh, they look like a little pink cushion and a dumpling. Are they going to kidnap him, as one does? Oh, it's still feet dragging. One Knight's Cup. 2 girls, 1 cup. 2 exorcists, 1 cup. What did they put on his head? A radish spirit. And this little pincushion. Bosui rock. Oh. Are they a married couple? The water. Oh, Fountain of Youth-esque. Every 12 years. Interesting. Aw. Interesting. Curious. Yes. Aw. Well, does that seem like something that his grandmother would have done? Oh, shit. Oh. Aw. Oh, maybe she hit her head. Oh, no. Well, no. Yeah, hey! Yes! What about her? Oh, man. Oh, come on, tell him. Well, that's because the grandson. Aw. Well, talk about her. Aw. Why do you have such a reaction to her? Oh. Our travelers, you see. Aw. Maybe with her husband. Maybe. Aw, cute. That's why they have so many cups there. A portable kiln? You could do so much with that. This is reminding me of the episode with the fox, where Natsume makes the plate to give to the fox. Aw. She's like, give me one. Want to fight me? Oh, don't tempt her. She'll collect your names. Oh, he was willing to offer it right then and there. Oh. Uh-huh. I wonder if she won't take the name because they're together and he's not alone. Oh, interesting. Is that your reasoning? Oh, interesting. The Forge the Fate. Okay, that's a cool way of looking at it. Huh? Do you want some water since you're a minor? How am I gonna fight you? He's like, yes. Oh. Oh. That's really cute. Surprised that Matoba. Aw. Oh. I thought you gave him water. Yeah, I'm sure. Aw. Well, cool. I love it. Surprised that Matoba doesn't get a bunch of sake cups. The one night cups. Okay, so that means Sensei can't get them. Yeah, this looks really pretty cool. Pottery ain't easy, y'all. Oh my god. Look at the her tiny on the cart. Oh wow. Like just the... Oh, and you get the free booze. Everything's temporary. The sake cups and the sake. But you get to keep the stories. That's such a cool trade-off. That's so cute. Damn it. Why is it so adorable? Right. Well, you wanted to start a fight earlier. Okay. Aw. Aw. Yes, just don't run off forever, like your grandmother. Aw. I want her to lead the cart. Just her. Oh, she just rode on his shoulder. It'd be funny if she was insanely strong. Aw. Wow. Aw. I love her design. Ah. Aw. Don't you be doing this. Don't you do this, show. What are you talking about? You guys are yokai. You should not be slowing down. Don't you be doing this. Oh. Ah. Hatsuna. She's so cute. She's so cute! Look how tiny she is when she runs! And that's when Natsume got hit by a car. Beep beep. Oh, you kids. Aw. Oh, pff, where's my sake, Toko? Oh, no. Aw. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, and then Nyanko Sensei's like, please. I want to go back. I'm in my PJs already. Ah! Ah! Oh, you big sourpuss. Oh, my God. They're kind of like the yokai version of Toko and Shigeru. Shut up. If anything happens to either of them, I will be so mad at you, Sho. Do not. Don't you dare. Do not separate. Don't you dare. This season's all been about separating people who've been together for a long time, so shut it. Nyanko Sensei's like, this is the best development that's happened in 3 seasons. Damn it. Sensei! They're like, oh, you brought this one with you. Oh. Are you gonna wreck their party? Like, get out, bitch! Oh. Oh, you have a servant? Oh, no! During a snack! All tendons and skin! Oh my god! She's so cute! Oh. Give me a sake cup! She's like, no, bitch. It's awfully rude. Bean bun! Choose wisely. It's like Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail. No, that is a fair thing to think about. Oh my god. Sensei's like, get time to get crunk! Oh. Oh. Man, interesting. Oh. 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 Get lost. That's super fun. Aw. Oh. Oh. She's like, don't be talking about that. Why? She loves you. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This random yokai. They always have, like, the faces like that. Aw. Aw. Yeah, you gotta get that fire in the kiln. Oh, wow. Aww. Interesting. Are you grown up yet? And she just kept walking. Interesting. Did they keep seeing her? Are they going to see her with someone else? Mmm. Very. Oh. Mm. Yeah. Soldier Boy is playing behind them with like the group. Oh. 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 Oh no. Oh. Is it because he's getting older? Oh. Oh no. Show, don't do this. Don't you do this. Don't you make me sad about this. Stop it. Why are you doing this? Oh. Don't you dare make me cry about this. Oh, why are you doing that, Show? Oh my god. Oh, because they're yokai. Shut up. Stop it. So that they could live a little longer. Oh. Yeah. Oh. I was just feeling good. I was starting to sober up, Natsume. Oh, shit. Crap. Where'd they go? Hmm. That animation's great. Oh, damn it. This narwhal chicken. What is this? Oh, that's them as the black. Oh. Oh, shit. This fox fighting a narwhal chicken. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, my God. Oh, I love, yeah, Nyanko Sensei is like, no. Oh my gosh. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Oh. Okay. Even narwhal chickens are no match for Nyanko Sensei. Oh, okay. Sure. A friend, huh? Uh-huh. Just say yes. Just say yes. Okay, cool. You drink the whole thing right now. For the cups, not for themselves. Oh. Uh-huh. Just for the two of us. Yeah, wow. Oh. You shut up right now! Don't you start crying! Oh. Well, don't tell us not to make that face! Yeah, you can't die yet. Oh. Oh. And this little walk of him by himself. Don't be giving us all an existential crisis in this episode. Oh. 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 They're just like them. Ugh. I'm not gonna cry. You can't make me cry, show. You can't. How dare you? Over a sake cup? No. Good, they're still going. If they had died, I would have started bawling. Ugh. You almost got me, you son of a bitch. Sake cups now. Sake cups now are going to be the bane of our existence. Okay, cool. Mother trucker. Someone said I saw this on Twitter, that someone had the mid-ranks and said, "This is Old Man Yowie." I was like, oh my god, it is. That's amazing. How dare you? Oh. Oh, shoot. Like, rip these earphones out every 5 seconds. Oh, I'm glad that the second OVA is also tied to this ED, because I'm not ready to let it go yet. I know season 6 will bring something new, but I'm not ready to let it go yet. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. How dare this show? How dare? What will make us cry? Well, if it's not umbrellas, it's sake cups. I held it together only because they lived through the end of the episode. If that husband yokai had died, which I was really worried for a hot second that he would have, I would have just crumbled. It just would have just collapsed from the interior. It would have been over. Oh my gosh, what a great OVA. Oh, again, it didn't even feel like an OVA. It felt like just an episode of season 5, because Natsume can be so episodic. It just felt like an episode of season 5. It was fine. It was like, okay. So I like that Natsume just gets lost going on an errand for Toko and then ends up running across this chicken narwhal. I don't know. The chicken narwhal yokai is kind of cheesy. It's fun in a good way. I don't think it's winning any competitions in this yokai tournament necessarily, but I do love that the husband and wife became the black fox together, which was really cool. I thought that was, I didn't notice that at first. I thought it was just a separate yokai. I didn't realize the husband and wife. I thought they were just around. I thought the husband and wife were just around in the area when all this first scene was going down, and they just stumbled across Natsume. I didn't realize they were actually the fox, and then the two of them showed up. Hatsune and Hazumi. Like, they were so good. And then Natsume punching the narwhal, which I love. Natsume has a tendency to just fall down hills, as one would. So it just, And then he gets taken by cart. It felt like a Danmai, him getting taken by cart. One Knight's Cup. This was adorable. I loved the husband and wife. They bickered like an old married couple. It's so sweet. And I kind of love it because there's a lot of ways that couples are portrayed in shows. And I feel like, Toko and Shigeru are like freaking perfect. They are like perfection in a bottle. Like, they're like the perfect couple. They don't argue that much. They don't like get tense with each other. They don't yell at each other. They're the couple that's on the same wavelength. They are constantly like on same brain. And I like that Toko is the one in that relationship that gets kind of worked up and emotional, and Shigeru is the one to calm her down and be like, now let's talk about this, and that's just how their dynamic works. Like when Natsume comes back in, which we'll talk about later, paralleling another episode in this season, I like that Shigeru's like the calm anchor and Toko's like the one that kind of gets a little spastic. Here, you have the one wife, which I love her little hairpin. It's super cute. She looks like a little pincushion. I love that she kind of gets emotional too, but he's actually a pretty emotional being, and she has to kind of calm him down. But they are very much like, they are the bickering old married couple. And when I was younger, I would see married couples like this, and I was like, do they even like each other? Because they're always kind of yelling at each other or like grumbly at each other. No, they do love each other, but this husband's having an existential crisis, which is rare for a yokai to have, but he's wondering like how much longer they have together. And I'm like, oh my God, are you just really upset and emotional because you're afraid of losing her? Like, what? I was just like, oh my God, that's so sad. And then you get why they kind of like bicker, but they still get along despite it. I just love it. I love that they are kind of different beings, but they travel together, and he makes the sake cups and she glazes them. So their whole thing was that they wanted to go and get some water that will make them stronger, and it happens once every 12 years. But the fact of the matter, they just wanted it not for themselves, but for the sake cups they made. Just so good. It's so good. So they're convinced that Natsume is Reiko, and it takes a little bit for him to convince them that he's actually her grandson and that she's passed away, which just makes them both even more sad because they're already having an existential crisis. And now they're like, now they're like, well, oh, so Reiko's gone. Well, we're not that far behind. And I'm like, oh my God, like it was just so sad. I really wanted them to tell Natsume more about Reiko. I was really hoping they would have more to say about her, but then they just ended up getting so sad about her not being there that they kind of didn't end up saying a whole lot about her in this, which I was like, I get it's just one OVA, but we teased her at the beginning of the season and we still don't know a lot about her. So I was all on board being like, oh, we'll find some more out. And then no, but it's all right. We do get a little bit with Reiko, which was fun. So we find out that she came over there and that she saw them making the cups in the kiln, which I have made pottery a few times. And I will say, I love drawing and painting is fun. Pottery and ceramics, that is hard, y'all. They make it look so easy in this episode, even though Natsume says it's a big workout and stuff to mold the clay. It is hard. We did pottery in high school. The college that I actually work at now has a kiln in the art department, and it did a deal for the local high schools where if you went there, it would let you take the pot. They would let the high schools basically use the kiln for a small fee, which was really affordable for the high schools because kilns are expensive. Kilns are very expensive. One year my high school tried to dig a hole back by the baseball field, and we tried to make our own kiln. It was not successful. Because it couldn't get hot enough, right? But it was like a fun little like thing. The baseball coach was pissed. He was like, "What are you doing digging a hole by the dugout?" And we were like, "We're making a kiln." So, my high school is tiny, hashtag real problems. So we thought we could get away with it. But the local college ended up letting the high schools for a small fee use their kiln for like, you had to rotate it out. Each of the high schools in the area like rotated out the times that they would use it. So we always used it in the fall, and we would do ceramics in art class, and then we'd each take our pots to the kiln and we'd get them back. Like, and it took a while. Like it would be there for about a month, and then you'd get it back later, like by the end of the semester. And so I remember I made a bowl and a cup, and they weren't great because it's really hard, and you have to have a lot of patience, a lot of skill, and it's kind of like any medium of art. You have to have a vision, and your vision has to connect from your brain to your hands, and it doesn't work for everybody that way. So I appreciate that kind of talked about in this. But with the kiln, the one husband yokai who's firing the sake cups, he's like, "Do you just want to fight me?" And then he offers and says, if I win, you'll have a drink with me. But if you win, then you can have my name or a sake cup. Now, here's the thing. Reiko, who has fought how many yokai now and taken how many names into the Book of Friends, she turns him down. And she says, she turns him down because she can't drink. But before she gets to that, she says, "You two are really close, huh?" And to me, I believe the reason that she didn't fight him or take his name is because he already had a yokai or someone else that he was with. He wasn't lonely. He was with someone. And her taking his name would kind of be essentially like her being a homewrecker and taking part of his soul, which would cause him distress later on. And so she said, "No, I'm not going to do that," which is an interesting little characterization of Reiko to come out in this OVA, which I think is super interesting, right? She's like, humans can't have sake until they're grown-ups, so no fighting. And so they kept wanting her to come back and have sake when she was an adult, but then she didn't come back. I kept wanting her to show back up in the flashback, and for like the third time, because they talked to her like 3 times. She comes by and she keeps laughing and turning away. I wanted on the 3rd time for her to come around with someone else and for it to be her husband and to be like, "Ah!" But no, they don't give us that at all, because why would they? So yeah, the little blue sake cup, I love it. It serves like the one night cup. It serves the most delicious sake you'll ever have, which Natsume can't have because he's a minor. I'm sure that Shigeru would have let him have it, but it's like, we just made it. And so, but they only last one night. So basically it's like you get a specialty one night a year party where you can get crunk on the best sake, and then the cup disappears and you go on your merry way. Which Nyako Sensei is like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Nyako Sensei was hilarious in this. But yeah, because of that, the two of us have become strong on our journey making all these sake cups. So he asks Natsume to help him a little, and the wife's like, he never asks anybody to help him. And so I feel like part of it is that the husband wanted Natsume to get involved because Reiko wasn't able to. But also, like, the moment that an elder starts to teach you skills, I felt like I was starting to get emotional because it reminded me of like my great grandma trying to teach me quilting because it was like a skill that she wasn't going to be as good at and she wanted to pass it down. And I was like, oh, which I'm terrible at quilting. So as my great grandmother would say, I don't have the gift. But I felt like it was one of those moments where the yokai was trying to pass on that skill to Natsume. And I'm like, that's so sad. And it makes me want to cry because the wife's like, he never lets anyone touch the clay. But if he stops, he loves making the cups so much. I was like, these yokai are losing the will to live because they aren't able to do what they're passionate about, what brought them together. Don't do this show. And I really thought the show was going to have them die by the end and I was going to just lose it. But they luckily let us hold it together. Yeah, they both got to see Natsume until the end. I love they call the roads human paths, like where the cars are. I don't know. The wife is in contention for one of the cutest yokai. She's so sweet. I love her. So yeah, I liked also how Shigeru was looking for the sake and we get the sake cup and she hands it to him. Shigeru and Toko, like, best couple. And then Nyako Sensei Madara is just like, oh, the sake of my dreams. Like, he was just so excited to go have the sake cups. And Natsume is like, I'm in my pajamas. We're not going out tonight. Like, this season 5 has made Nyako Sensei so cute. Look the cutest possible. They've just made him look so adorable. And I'm like, okay, show, what we doing? But yeah, the two of them always together. So they end up going the next day. I love Madara instantly gets with these 3 yokai on the rock face there, the fox-looking one and the ogre-looking one. And he's like, hey, y'all want to get crunk? We'll put some LMFAO on and just have a party. And they're like, yeah. They're like, you bring this human to eat. I love Nyako Sensei basically says that Natsume is just all skin and bones. He's lanky, so he wouldn't be tasty. And the yokai are like, no, yeah, that's true. I love the wife calling him Mr. Bean Bun. Now, the scene where he gets to choose the cup makes me think of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is where he has to choose the Holy Grail. And then I think it's John Cleese's character. He basically says he chose poorly. Like, if you had to choose, which cup would you pick? They were not wrong, though. There was a part of this episode where she was explaining, like, what type of cup to pick. And she made the point of saying it's more important to have something that fits easily into the hand. You will notice that in all of my reaction videos, I have like the same style of mug. This is a brand of pottery. It's for like the coffee brand that I drink like every day. And they get this pottery that's from Deneen Pottery. You can look it up online. But I kind of, the only thing I collect are like coffee cups. I love collecting coffee mugs. My grandmother on my dad's side collected coffee mugs. And when I was a kid, I didn't get it. I was like, why do you have a wall of coffee mugs? And she's like, I just like collecting them. I love collecting them. So I get it. I get it now. But the grip on the handle and the feel of it, it's hard to describe. It makes no sense, but it just feels right. So these types of coffee mugs, I get it. You got to find one that fits well in your hand. Like the ones I have back there, I have a Bungo Stray Dogs coffee cup there, which I love. I love the Bungo Stray Dogs coffee cup. It's one of my favorites, but it feels very flimsy when you hold it. It doesn't feel like it doesn't hold in the heat. And so your hand gets hot. This does it, y'all. You can tell this, I had a dog hair, is like a piece of fine clay that has been used. So yeah, anyway, the Natsume comes over and the husband has him help make the sake cups. One thing I really love as well is just the idea of Natsume helping out the yokai do this task. Like Natsume has been the mediator these last few seasons between humanity and yokai. And I kind of love it. I kind of love that he gets to, by him interacting with the yokai, it furthers his connection to them, but also furthers the idea that they're not that different than humanity. They are in a way, but there's parts of them that are not that different from humanity. And like him helping them make the sake cup and then them having this existential crisis. Like when he said his wife can be annoying, he says it with a smile, saying she's silly too at times. Like he's not mad at her. He just says that she kind of like gets on his nerves in a good way. And there is that getting on someone's nerves in a good way. He's like, the clay is nice. It doesn't talk, but I've been with them both for a long time. Right? I love that. Like that's where he's happy with who he's with. Now, this one style of yokai that comes in with the long blonde hair and the long like mask that looks almost like a nose, that style of yokai has been present since season 1 and it is constantly featured. So the creator must really like that style of yokai. Now, the glazing part of pottery was my favorite part. That was my favorite because if you've ever glazed pottery, it will look different than when you put it on. The glaze will look a different shade or a different color, and then the kiln and the fire will set it, and it will like make the color really come to life. So that was always my favorite part, was glazing it, not knowing exactly how it would turn out, but that was the surprise. And then it would always look so different when you got done. I loved it. So yeah. And he kept on seeing when she'd come by saying, are you a grown-up yet? Are you going to come fight me? But she never would. She'd just laugh because she's like, no, I'm not going to take your name. I'm not going to take you away from your love. And he says, human lives are short and it's so frustrating. That's when I was starting to be like, oh, show, are you gonna give us the emotional tug to rip our heart in two? Why, yes. Well, yes. And Natsume's like, I can't even imagine how long your journey has been. But it's amazing you were able to get strong during that time. The sad thing is, right after he says it, the cups start to disintegrate, which lead to the husband being sad because he's like, that means his power to make the cups is diminishing. And so that's when they go to the spring and everything, which made me so sad. I was like, no, don't give up making your cups just because these bitches can't get crunk all night. And then when they said they were going to make the cups for themselves, just melt my heart in two, y'all. Just melt it. So, yeah. And so then, yeah, and then, of course, Nyako Sensei, as they're walking down the mountain afterwards, is like, well, I guess they don't have the power to make the cups as much anymore. They're probably going to die soon. And Natsume's like, what? And then Nyako Sensei is like, oh, well, a yokai's version of soon is much different than yours. Which Natsume's Book of Friends has not been afraid to show yokai dying and leaving their partners astray. It happened a lot in the early part of the series. So that's why I thought that it was definitely possible that one of them or both of them were going to die. And I was like, oh, don't do that. We've really gotten close to these two little yokai. Why would you do that? But anyway, so I do think that Nyako Sensei brings up a good point in that, you know, the end of their lives could still be 100 years away, right? It's their version of their time span occurs in a different time frame than Natsume and humans. So then they go back. It's the full moon. Natsume runs over and they have the chicken narwhal, which is just such a creepy. It's so creepy. It's not as creepy cute as the snowman, but it's just creepy. And then Natsume helps with, you know, Nyako Sensei to defeat the narwhal yokai and save the two of them. I like Nyako Sensei being like, fine, I'll help. You have a powerful friend, don't you, Natsume? And of course they ask if Nyako Sensei is Natsume's friend, and he doesn't respond. He just is like, And we're like, oh, you're fooling no one. How dare you? So yeah, and then they both end up deciding that they're going to make cups again for themselves. And then the husband's like, I'll just make it for you, and then we can drink together. And then when he looked at her and he was so serious, this little radish spirit, and she started to tear up. Nope, I was so sad. And he's like, I'm glad I got to meet Reiko's grandson. And once you become a grown-up, let's drink together. But I feel like Natsume is just as sad. He's not laughing as he walks away like Reiko did, but he's like, one, he doesn't know if they'll still be around by the time he's an adult. And two, he doesn't know if he's going to get to drink. A part of me wants him to be able as an adult. I want this mangaka to remember this, if this is part of the canon as the OVA. I don't know if it is or not, but I would love to see an epilogue when this series is over of Natsume drinking with them. I don't know if that will happen or not, or if the mangaka will remember, but that would be so sweet. And then when they thank Natsume and we see him like walking alongside the river in the moonlight, that was such a beautiful moment. I loved that. Like he's covered in mud and everything, but the moonlight, like the full moon. I love it when there's a full moon out and everything's like this beautiful blue-white light cast across everything. It's gorgeous. So then when he gets back and walks in and Toko's like, you should have called, you're late. Whenever he's holding the Nyako Sensei and he says he's sorry, I instantly saw the parallel back to during the Toko and Shigeru episode 10 of season 5. I instantly saw the parallel of the first time Natsume showed up to this moment with Sensei now. And it's like, I love it. And of course, Toko is upset because she was afraid something had happened. And then Natsume, has all the mud on him and he doesn't exactly know how to explain. And then Shigeru's like, well, go wash your face, Takashi, and we'll talk about it over dinner. And he's like, now, Toko, we can hear this story while he eats. And she's like, well, yeah, but I was worried. I like that again. Toko, I think if she and Shigeru found out that Natsume could see yokai and all this was going down, I think they would be worried for him, but I think they would also accept the fact that he's a young adult and that he'll tell them if he needs to and all of that. So I feel like it's a little tiny hint that they're going to be okay when they find out about it, but just in this OVA. And then, yeah, he looks out in the moonlight. That was such a beautiful scene of him and Nyako Sensei looking out the window. That was really beautifully done. And then seeing them both with the sake cups at the moonlight and then clinking them together. Oh, So freaking cute. And then his bowl and everything being big and hers being tiny. I when it disintegrated, I thought, oh my God, they're dead. And then we saw their little wagon wheels and them going up the hill, and I was like, okay, no, we're good. I was going to full on sob if that was the end of them. I was just going to sob right then and there. But at least we know they've got some time left. They got some time left together. That's all we need to know. That's fine. Don't worry about anything else. Oh, that was such a good episode. It was very straightforward, very to the point, very cute, very funny. But at the same time, this couple, we don't get to see yokai couples living in like domesticated bliss a lot. Usually they're just two star-crossed lovers living in angst, or they're a couple that's been distanced from one another, or they're like a pair that's trying to find or reconnect with one another. We haven't really gotten a lot of yokai pairings where they feel like unmarried couple like Toko and Shigeru. So this was a nice change of pace. And again, season 5 has been such a mellow season of melancholy but down to earth retrospective that I live for it. I love it. So, yes. And next week we get another OVA before we dive into season 6. So that's exciting. So I'm really excited to hear your thoughts about this episode. I'm sure y'all have lots of thoughts about the meaning, about this couple, there's lots of ways to interpret not only Reiko not drinking with them, but also interpreting like the pairing and what they think about the cups and about everything. And again, last episode was about how ephemeral everything is and short, like a short lifespan everything has. And this episode kind of went along with that, but added like the yokai twist to it, which was really well done. Really well done. I enjoyed it. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts down below. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. But yes, I am super excited to see the second OVA for season 5 of Natsume's Book of Friends. And I'll be back very soon with more reactions. Bye.